How's it going, guys? This is your boy Yzma coming back to you with another YouTube channel, I suppose. Today we'll be going with Metasploit Meterpreter, and we will be taking a deep dive into Meterpreter and see how in-memory payloads can be used for post-exploitation. We're going to go to Task 1, Introduction to Meterpreter. Meterpreter is a Metasploit payload that supports the penetration testing process with many vulnerable components. Meterpreter will run on target systems and act as an agent within a command and control architecture. You will interact with the target operating system and files and use Meterpreter's specialized commands. Meterpreter has many versions which will provide different functionalities based on the target systems. How does Meterpreter work? Meterpreter runs on the target system but is not installed on it. It runs in memory and does not write itself to the disk on the target. This feature aims to avoid being detected during antivirus scans. By default, most antivirus software will scan new files on the disk. When you download a file from the internet, Meterpreter runs in memory. RAM, random access memory, to avoid having a file that has been written to the disk on the target system. Meterpreter.exe. This way Meterpreter will be seen as a process and do not have a file on the target system. Meterpreter also aims to avoid being detected by network-based IPS, intrusion prevention systems, and IDS, intrusion detection systems. Solutions by using encrypted communication with the server where Metasploit runs. Typically, you're attacking the machine. If the target organization does not decrypt and inspect encrypted traffic, HTTPS, coming to and going out of the local network, IPS and IDS solutions will not be able to detect its activities. While Meterpreter is recognized by major antivirus software, this feature provides some degree of stealth. The example below shows a target window machine exploiting using the MS17/010 vulnerability. You will see Meterpreter is running with a process ID, PID of 1304. PID will be different in your case. We have used git PID command, which returns the process ID with which Meterpreter is running. The process ID or process identifier is used by operating systems to identify running processes. All processes running in Linux or Windows will have a unique ID number. This number is used to interact with the process when the need arises, if needed to be stopped. If we list process running on the target systems using the ps command, we see PID 1304 is spoolsv.exe and not meterpreter.exe, as one might expect. Even if we were to go a step further and look at DLLS dynamic link libraries used by the Meterpreter process, PID 1304 in this case, we still would not find anything jumping at us. Not meterpreter.dll. Techniques and tools that can be used to detect Meterpreter are beyond the scope of this room. This section aimed to show you how stealthy Meterpreter is running. Remember, most antivirus software will detect it. It is also worth noting that Meterpreter will establish an encrypted TLS communication and channel with the attacker systems. Answer the question below. No answer needed. Task 2. Meterpreter flavors. As discussed in previous Metasploit rooms, linked below, Metasploit payloads can be initially divided into two categories: inline, also called singles, and staged. As you will remember, staged payloads are sent to the target in two steps. An initial part is installed, the stager, and request of payload. This allows for a smaller initial payload size. The inline payload are sent in a single step, Meterpreter payloads are also divided into staged and inline versions. However, Meterpreter has a wide range of different versions you can choose from based on your target systems. The easiest way to have an idea about available Meterpreter versions could be to list them using MSF Venom as seen below. We have used MS Venom // list payloads commands and grep Meterpreter payloads. Adding this symbol grep Meterpreter to the command line so the output online only shows these you can carry. Try this command on the attack box. The list shows Meterpreter versions available for the following platforms: Android, Apple iOS, Java, Linux, OS X, PHP, Python, Windows. Your decision on which version of Meterpreter to use will be mostly based on three factors: the target operating system. Is the target operating system Linux or Windows? Is it a Mac device? Is it an Android phone, etc.? Components available on the target system. Is Python installed? Is this PHP website, etc. Network connection types you can have with target systems. Do they allow raw TCP connections? Can you only have a HTTPS reverse connection? Are IPv6 addresses not as closely monitored as IPv4 addresses? If you're using Meterpreter as a standalone payload generated by MSF Venom, your choice may also be limited by the exploit. You will notice some exploits will have default Meterpreter payloads. As you can see in the example below with the MS17/010/internal blue exploit. And I do have to learn more what these things are called, these symbols. So I just be calling everything / y'all. But as I go, I will continue to get better. But right now we are rolling. You can also list other available payloads using the show payloads command with any module, as shown right here. And we've concluded this part, so now we're going to move on to task 3. Meterpreter commands. Try and help on any Meterpreter session shown by Meterpreter, as prompt will list all available commands. Every version of Meterpreter will have different command options, so running the help command is always a good idea. Commands are built-in tools available on Meterpreter. They will run on the target system without loading any additional scripts or executables. Meterpreter will provide you with the 3 primary categories or tools: built-in commands, Meterpreter tools, Meterpreter scripting. If you run the help command, you will see Meterpreter commands are listed under different categories: core commands, file system commands, networking commands, system commands, user interface commands, webcam commands, audio output commands, elevated commands, password database commands, timestamp commands. Please note that the list above was taken from the output of the help command on the Windows version of Meterpreter. Windows/times64/Meterpreter/reverse. Release _TCP. This will be different for Meterpreter versions. Meterpreter commands, core commands, will be helpful to navigate and interact with target systems below are some of the most commonly used. Remember to check all available commands running the help command once a Meterpreter session has started. Core commands. So we have background, the current session. We have exit, terminate the Meterpreter session. We have GID, the session GID, globally unique identifier. Help displays the help menu. We have the info, displays information about the post module. We have IRB, opens an interactive Ruby shell on the current session. We have load, loads on loads one or more Meterpreter extensions. Migrate allows you to migrate Meterpreter to another process. We have run, executes the Meterpreter script or post module. Sessions, quickly switch to another session. File system commands. CD will change directory. ls will list files in the current directory. dir will also work. pwd prints the current working directory. Edit will allow you to edit a file. Cat will show you the contents of a file to the screen. rm will delete the specific file. Search will search for files. Upload will upload a file or a directory. Download will download a file or directory. Now we have networking commands. ARP displays the host ARP address resolution protocol cache. ifconfig displays network interfaces available on the target systems. netstat displays the network connections. Port FWD forwards a local port to a remote service, allows you to view and modify the routing table. System commands clears the event logs. Executes a command. Get PID shows the current process identifier. Get UID shows the user that Meterpreter is running as. Kill terminate a process. Kill terminate process by name. PS lists running processes. Reboots the remote computer. Shell drops into a system command shell. Shut down the remote computer. Sysinfo gets information about the remote system such as OS. Other commands, these will be listed under different menus, categories in the help menu. Idle time returns the number of seconds the remote user has been idle. Keyscan _dump dumps the keystrokes buffer. Keyscan _start starts capturing keystrokes. Keyscan _stop stops capturing keystrokes. Screen share allows you to watch the remote user desktop in real time. Screenshot grabs a screenshot of the interactive desktop. Record mic I believe records audio from the default microphone for X seconds. Webcam _chat starts video chat. Webcam _chat starts video chat, which I already read. Webcap _list lists webcams. Webcap _snap takes snapshot from the specified webcam. Webcam _stream plays video stream from the specified webcam. Get systems attempts to elevate your privileges to the local systems. Hash dump dumps the contents of SAM database. Although all these commands may seem available under the help menu, they may not all work. For example, the target system might not have a webcam, or it can be a running or a virtual machine without proper desktop environment. Moving on to post-exploitation with Meterpreter. Meterpreter provides you with many useful commands that facilitates the post-exploitation phase. Below are a few examples you will often use. Help. This command will give you all lists of available commands in Meterpreter. As we have seen earlier, Meterpreter has many versions, and each version may have different options available. Try to help you once you have Meterpreter sessions will help you quickly browse through available commands. Meterpreter commands. The get UID command will display the user which Meterpreter is currently running. This will give you an idea of your possible privilege level on the target system. Are you on admin level user like NT authorized /system or a regular user? The PS command will list running process. Sorry about that. The PS command will list running processes. This PID column will also give you the PID information. You will need to migrate Meterpreter to another process. Migrate to another process will help Meterpreter interact with it. For example, if you see a word processor running on the target word.exe notepad.exe, you can migrate to it and start capturing keystrokes sent by the user to this process. Some Meterpreter versions will offer you the keyscan/start, keyscan/stop, keyscan_dump command options to make Meterpreter act like a keylog. Migrating to another process may also help you to have a more stable Meterpreter session. To migrate to any process, you need to type migrate command followed by the PID of the desired target process. The example below shows Meterpreter migration to process ID 716. To migrate to any process, you need to type migrate command followed by the PID of the desired target process. The example below shows Meterpreter migrating to process ID 716. Be careful, you may lose your privileges if you migrate from a higher privilege system. User to process started by a lower privilege user web server, you may not be able to gain them back. Hash dump. The hash dump command will list the contents of SAM database. The SAM Security Account Manager database stores users' passwords on Windows systems. The passwords are stored in the NTLM New Technology LAN Manager format. While it is not mathematically possible to crack these hashes, you may still discover the clear text password using online NTLM database or rainbow table attack. These hashes can also be used in pass the hash attacks to authenticate to another system that these users can access the same network. Search. The search command is useful to locate files with potentially juicy information. In a CTF context, this can be used to quickly find a flag or proof file, which in actual penetration testing engagement you may need to search for user-generated files or configuration files that may contain password or account information. Shell. The shell command will launch regular command lines on the target system. Press Ctrl Z will help you go back to Meterpreter shell.
Alright guys, now moving on to task 5, post-exploitation challenge. Meterpreter provides several important post-exploitation tools. Commands mentioned previously, such as git systems and hash dump, will provide important leverage and information to privilege escalation and lateral movement. Meterpreter is also a good base you can use to run post-exploitation modules available on the Metasploit framework. Finally, you can also use the load command to leverage additional tools such as Kiwi or even the whole Python language. The post-exploitation phase will have several goals. Meterpreter has functions that can assist all of them. Gathering further information about the target system, looking for interesting files, user credentials, additional network interfaces, and generally interesting information on the target system. Privilege escalation, lateral movement. Once any additional tools is loaded using the load command, you will see new options on the help menu. The example below shows commands added for the Kiwi module using the load Kiwi command. These will change according to the loaded menu, so running the help command after loading a module is always a good idea. The question below will help you have a better understanding of how Meterpreter can be used in post-exploitation. You can use the credentials below to simulate an initial compromise over SMB server message block using exploit/windows/smb/pcexec. And we're going to be using the username Balin and the password1. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started for y'all. Alright, so first things first, you're going to have to type in MSF console, and you're going to have to wait for that to load up. Alright, so now that MSF console is loaded, we're going to move on to the next step. So now we're going to use this exploit. So we're going to use exploit this right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just copy and paste that. I'm going to hit enter. So now I'm going to show options. So now we have to check the our host, and we're gonna have to change that to the IP address we have. Not this one. It's gonna be this one right here. You're gonna set it to this IP address, and yeah. So let's get started doing that. Oh, also you're gonna have to set the SMB username and set the username this set password as well. So you're setting 3 things total. So let's get started. So first we're going to start with the set our host. Set our host space. It's going to be 10.10 268. I'm gonna hit enter. So now I'm gonna hit set